I'm just going to come right out and assume that you're someone who's ambitious and someone who's chasing a dream. You're someone on personal development. You're looking to reach your fullest potential in mind, body, and spirit. And if you answered yes to any or all of these statements, you need to have a process. Because this journey that we're all on, we all know that it's a long and tedious and chaotic path. And it's easy to get lost along the way because there's a lot of uncertainty and self doubt and stress that we're going to have to deal with. But no matter what difficulties we go through, our process is what will keep us grounded. And I'm not here to tell you that my process is the end all be all that you need to follow, because my process is undoubtedly going to be different than yours. And it doesn't mean that either one of us is doing it better or worse or right or wrong. But a lot of people around me and people on social media think that I have this crazy regiment that I'm doing secretly behind the scenes that makes me who I am. But the reality is, I'm no different than you. I've just mastered the basics. I make sure that each and every single day I prioritize my health, I'm learning something new, and I'm working on my personal craft. That's really it. It's nothing crazy or super complex, and quite honestly, it's pretty fucking boring. That's why I don't post day in the lives or anything like that, because my day genuinely consists of training twice a day and sitting here at my laptop for 6 to 8 hours. And so many of us have fallen into this perpetual state of distraction because we're so caught up in our phones or what's going on in social media or politics or the news or whatever it might be. And look, I get it. We live in a digital world now. I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to tell you to go off grid, throw your phone off a bridge, and go live in the mountains of Utah or some shit. Because I still use my phone every single day. Fuck, I have 10 hours of screen time a day. But the thing is, I use my time on these devices extremely efficiently, and I make sure that I have my priorities straight first, because you need to find the balance. That is the most important part when it comes to being consistent. Because, for example, you could have the most strict and productive regimen in the world, but if you can't sustain it for longer than a week, then it's useless. You need to find one and build one for yourself that you can sustain and one that has longevity. Because I see a lot of social media content nowadays that tells you that you have to wake up at 4 a.m. and you have to take an ice bath first thing in the morning and you have to go on a 5 mile run after that and then you have to do red light therapy and all this bullshit. And they paint this picture that this is the end all be all for every single person. But the reality is, those things are not mandatory and those things are also not for everybody. And what happened to me at the beginning of my journey when I was just some 21-year-old kid who wanted to do better for himself, I saw this content and I saw these regimens and I thought that this was my ticket out. And I thought it was the only way that it had to be in order for me to improve. And even though I kept up with it for a couple of weeks, I eventually just burned out and I was left sitting there thinking, what the hell is wrong with me? I would ask myself, why can't I be consistent? Why can't I be disciplined? Why do I keep going back to my old ways time and time again? And it's because I was trying to put someone else's lifestyle into my own life. And what I realized after all of this time was that I operate differently than everyone else, and I'm wired differently than everyone else. So that didn't work for me, and it probably won't work for you either. Because maybe you don't wake up at 4 a.m. Maybe you're like me and you're more of a 6 or 7 a.m. kind of guy. Or maybe you're a night owl and you stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning every single night. I don't know. And quite frankly, I don't care. As long as you're doing the things that you need to do on a daily basis, however or whatever way that works for you, that is your process. And like I said, this took me forever to learn, but once I did learn it, I began to fall in love with the process, which is the most important thing. And that's the thing that many of you are missing. Because when you learn to fall in love with the process, one that serves you and one that you can sustain long term, that is what will eventually get you to where you want to go. You have to develop your own regimen, your own process, go at your own pace, not somebody else's. And that is what will enable you to show up every single day and do what you need to do in order to get 1% better each and every single day. That's how I was able to completely transform my life so quickly, because my life has been so chaotic and so hectic these past couple of years, because I've gone from my absolute lowest back in 2021 to where I am now, which is still nowhere close to where I want to be, obviously, because I still have so much more to do and so much more to give. But I would be foolish to say that I haven't made some pretty good progress up until this point. And that transformation only happened because I learned to love my process. And I know I said I wasn't going to tell you mine, but I can boil it down to pretty much four basic things. Four things that are transferable to each and every single one of you. And if you do these four basic things every single day, you can truly have whatever you want in this life. And those four things are meditate, read, train, and work on your personal craft. And I truly believe that if you do those four things every single day, it doesn't matter where you want to go or what you want to do with your life, you'll get there when you do those four things. Because when you show up for yourself and prioritize your mind, your body, and your spirit, you'll just naturally fall down the right path. And I not only believe this, but I know it for a fact, because that is exactly what worked for me. So at the end of the day, just do what works best for you and find your process. And once you find it, life honestly starts to get really fun. Actually, I don't know if fun is the right word to use, but you definitely start to love life itself a lot more. And the best part is you'll be loving life all while following the path of becoming the best version of yourself and achieving all of your goals and meeting new and amazing people and experiencing everything life has to offer along the way. So, yeah, I'll say it once more. Just find your process and then learn to love it.